Well, my whole entire life, I never wanted to serve a mission. I was really, really shy. Went through a lot of bullying and just didn't really feel like I had a lot of self-confidence talking to people. And so my whole life I thought, oh, I can't do that. Like, I'm not capable. And so as life went on, I went to college, didn't really seem to get any better. And so on my 20th birthday, I was like having this new, determination. Like, yeah, you know what? I'm going to do better. I'm going to make friends. I'm going to talk to people. And I'm capable of talking to people. And then I felt like the Spirit whispered to me saying, you know what? If you wanted to, you could serve a mission. And I was like, no, there's no way. And I felt like the Spirit said to me again, yeah, if you wanted to, you could. And so I thought, oh, well, I got to research this. I got to figure this out. And so I did my research, and I did talk to people about why they decided to serve, and I read talks, and I talked to people why they didn't want to serve, and I did research. And then finally one night I just got frustrated after all this research, and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go. So I went to my Heavenly Father in prayer, and I said, Heavenly Father, I'm just going to go on a mission. That's a good thing. And I felt like Heavenly Father said to me, are you sure? Are you sure about that? You should go back and do it again. I was like, oh, all right. So I went back, did it again, and this time I decided not to do just research, but to go and also listen to the Spirit. And which I felt like was the same way with my investigators. Sometimes they would feel like they're researching it, and they wouldn't listen to the Spirit. And so that was a good way for me to relate to the investigators. My decision to go on a mission was very similar to their decision of being baptized. So anyways, I started listening to the Spirit more, and I realized that when I wanted to go on a mission, I felt the Spirit. And when I didn't want to go, I didn't feel the Spirit. And one night I was talking to one of my roommates, and she had just got home from her mission. Like, the day I met her that she moved in was like 3 days later that she just got off. And I asked her, why did you decide to serve a mission? And she told me her story, and I realized it was very similar to my own. And I felt the Spirit testifying to me that there's a reason why she was my roommate. And so right then and there, I wrote down a list of all the reasons to go and all the reasons not to go. Again, still very research. I'm a scientist, so I have to do some research. And I couldn't think of one reason not to go. And I felt the Spirit so strong that I really wanted to go. So I went back to my Heavenly Father in prayer, and I said, Heavenly Father, I'm going on a mission. And he's like, good. That's great. It's a good thing. I was like, yeah, it is. So anyways, yeah, so that's why I decided to serve. The next day I called my bishop, and I was able to go out a couple weeks after my 21st birthday. Back in the good old days when you can go when you're 21. So yeah, that was why I went.